This is Arnie Waters at Waters Capital in Boston. A special welcome to our new adherents from Singapore and Russia. We think our international scope is quite interesting, and evidently you guys do too. So thanks very much for joining the morning call. Now, excuse me, two main points. The first has to do with China. Now, in my opinion, and what I'm about to say may be slightly inflammatory, I'm sorry for saying that. The Chinese, it turns out, have developed a stealth bomber way ahead of time. The Chinese have also developed an anti-ship cruise missile, again, way ahead of schedule. The concern is that the possession of these items enables the Chinese to more and more effectively engage with our forces. I'm not suggesting in the slightest way that they have any desire to do that. But I am saying it seems to me patently absurd to waste all this money in Afghanistan and waste all this money in Iraq when we've got a real problem, an economic adversary who's using that economic power to drive major military accomplishments. These accomplishments by the Chinese should not be slighted or overlooked. These are very, very important things, and caused in large part by the concentration of the government on developing military power at the expense of improving conditions for the average Chinese person. This is, of course, not surprising in a dictatorship, a state dictatorship. Secondly, I want to point out to you one of the factors which we come back to repeatedly in our discussion of the gold price. One of the most important supports of the gold price on the supply side is that there are continuous power problems in the Republic of South Africa, in RSA. What that means is that every now and then, once or twice a month, 20 or 30 times or 60 or 70 times a year, mines, gold mines in South Africa and other mining operations are forced to suspend or close operations because of power shortages. One of the effects, one of the reasons that this is just like one of the reasons there are no superhighways in Russia is the Russians wanted to keep the people isolated. In South Africa, the people didn't, the Afrikaners, so-called, didn't want to build up the power grid. So as we move into the second decade of the 21st century and we're looking at gold supply, we see gold supply being negatively affected by the fact that they can't get enough power. It isn't, the South African government doesn't even believe that this problem is going to get solved in 2015 or 16. So when we say aim for the ice flows, what we mean is look at gold in the context that demand is rising and that supply is threatened. This is Arnie Waters. Aim for the ice flows, not the open water. Keep swinging.